Can you believe the performance that we have just watched at Old Trafford? It was pitiful. Last night, Manchester United were pathetic. They were the true definition of pathetic.
Absolute disgrace. Ten Hag, you are done, mate. You are done. You are pathetic. The tactics out there, mate, absolute disgrace.
Oh, Manchester United, a club that has fallen from grace. Is there any manager that can save this club? Let's get into it. I can understand the challenges Ten Hag faces while operating within the system at Manchester United. However, there are certain standards in football, and unfortunately, he is struggling to meet them. Manchester United's poor season took another turn for the worst in their final fixture in the Champions League. They suffered another devastating blow as they were eliminated from both the Champions League and Europa League after finishing last place in a group that seemed straightforward on paper. A disappointing 1-0 loss to Bayern Munich sealed their fate. Of course, football is never won on paper, but in recent years, nothing seems to be straightforward at Old Trafford. Once considered a theater of dreams, Old Trafford no longer lives up to that and has become a favorable ground for visiting teams. However, when it comes to the decision of sacking Erik Ten Hag, one might wonder if it's as simple as it appears on the surface. Could it be that the situation is more complex than some fans tend to perceive? After an incredibly promising first season under the Dutchman's leadership, United has experienced a dramatic decline in their performance during his second campaign. This decline has been evident right from the start, beginning with their opening Premier League game against Wolves. The recent results and performances strongly indicate that it would be in United's best interest to part ways with Ten Hag. This season, they've experienced more losses than wins, with a record of 12 wins and 11 losses. This is on par with the total number of losses from the previous season. In fact, the ratio of losses to games played has significantly increased, with 12 losses in just 24 matches compared to 12 losses in 62 matches previously. These stats speak for themselves, making it very difficult to back Ten Hag. If there were a clear and identifiable style of play being implemented, one might be able to tolerate the team's poor results. However, it appears that this is not the case, despite Ten Hag's attempts to convince the fans and pundits otherwise in his press conferences, which are becoming less convincing by the day. The team's communication has shifted from straightforward to confusing, and this is yet another cause for concern. Upon arrival to the club, he expressed his desire to transform United into the best transition team in the world, even though he had to compromise his principles last season, due to the inability to secure Frankie de Jong and David de Gea's struggles in playing from the back. To many's disappointment, this stylistic shift has resulted in a disastrous outcome. The team has become alarmingly vulnerable during transitions, and their attacking strategies often lead to wingers getting trapped in dead-end situations, while new striker Rasmus Højlund's runs up front yield to no results. Everything but the kitchen sink approach with Scott McTominay playing as a second striker in recent games further creates more confusion on Ten Hag's football. After the match against Bayern Munich, Thomas Tuchel, Bayern's coach, expressed the sentiment stating, "Sometimes they do a build-up with only 4 people to have 6 up higher on the pitch. It explains to me why they are dangerous and also why sometimes you can catch them on the counterattacks and why they are sometimes vulnerable." I think Tuchel is just being nice by using the word sometimes. Manchester United are vulnerable all the time. Apart from the lack of playing style, Ten Hag's transfers is also a point of criticism, especially in the case of Anthony and sometimes Mason Mount. Despite his talent, Anthony has now gone 25 games without scoring a goal, and his recent performance against Bayern was one to forget as he struggled against Alphonso Davies. However, this is where the Ten Hag faithfuls begin every argument, and has been a sticking point for every manager during the challenging post-Fergie era. Why does Ten Hag have the additional responsibility of being the head of recruitment? Why is there no higher level of accountability above the manager? How many other top clubs operate in a similar manner? I'm sure we've all heard these arguments from United fans. Looking at successful clubs reveals that a well-organized off-field structure and a sense of unity often translate into positive on-field performance. Consider some examples from the Premier League: Manchester City, Newcastle, Dismissal. Despite being state-owned, they have managed to assemble a competent team, Aston Villa and Brighton to name a few. These clubs have effectively aligned their resources and operations, ensuring everything is in order. Bayern Munich's situation is similar to that of Ajax, where Tuchel, like Ten Hag, understands his role as being solely the coach. However, Ajax has experienced turmoil following the departure of key figures such as Edwin van der Sar and others. Similar to Manchester United, Arsenal and Liverpool fans have often expressed their dissatisfaction with their respective American owners throughout the years. However, it is worth acknowledging that these clubs have demonstrated an understanding of the importance of establishing a solid management structure beyond just their managers. The inclusion of a competent sports director in Edu has resulted in a notable transformation in their football operations. With Edu and Mikel Arteta working together, their collaboration has proven to be highly successful over the last 18 months. Likewise, Liverpool's remarkable resurgence under Jurgen Klopp can be attributed to the invaluable contributions of Michael Edwards and Julian Ward. I would like to highlight that both Arsenal and Liverpool have not undergone changes in ownership, but instead they have made strategic investments in a competent manager and sports director. The concern with Ten Hag lies in his lack of proving competence as a coach, which raises doubts about the potential improvements that could be achieved even with the appointment of a sporting director. Both Arteta and Klopp possess distinctive playing styles that make it easier to identify players who would fit into their respective systems. In contrast, Ten Hag may currently be uncertain about his own system. Similar to Manchester United, Chelsea and Everton have also been known to rely heavily on financial investments to solve their on-field problems. This approach, however, has not always produced a desired result, as Everton, for example, has faced relegation battles season after season, with the club's recent unfortunate 10-point deduction. As it stands, United can only achieve so much based on the resources at their disposal. Unfortunately, this pattern of underperformance has been observed repeatedly under various management styles, making it difficult to view it as anything other than a recurrent cycle of failure. True progress can only be achieved through tangible and substantial changes, both on and off the field. To make matters worse, the club is currently in a state of uncertainty as it patiently awaits the finalization of Jim Ratcliffe's 25% ownership and sporting control. Despite the anticipation, the announcement date for this development seems to be consistently pushed back to next week, creating a sense of indefinite waiting. It is highly unlikely that any managerial decision will be made until the confirmation of Jim Ratcliffe's 25% ownership. Ten Hag appeared to be in a favorable position back in August, with the potential to not only retain his job, but also excel under a new structure, especially considering Ratcliffe's rumored admiration of him as a coach. However, this stance has significantly changed at this point, unless there is a remarkable reversal of fortunes during the upcoming festive period. Despite their current struggles as a club and the numerous off-field problems they face, it is crucial to maintain a certain level of standards on the pitch. At this point, it appears that Ten Hag is unable to meet even the bare minimum requirements. Therefore, it seems necessary to consider the appointment of a new manager at some point in the upcoming year. Is it possible for Ten Hag to become the first Manchester United manager since Sir Alex Ferguson to successfully navigate a comeback? Are Ten Hag supporters fighting a losing battle? Are the fans who want Ten Hag out delusional to the crisis at the top of the club? Although many Manchester United fans would have liked to see Ten Hag succeed, it's highly unlikely that he will. Are you a United fan? Or just a fan who loves to see Manchester United struggle? As always, please share your thoughts in the comment section, and thank you for watching.